Hey guys, and welcome to Discuss Things. My name is Theo. Time for a different kind of reaction. This time I'm going to react to something I'm very familiar with, which is my own country. Let's see how a foreigner who apparently has a Geography Now YouTube channel will represent, and how accurately will he represent Bulgaria. So, Geography Now Bulgaria. It's a almost 12-minute video, so let's just get right to it. You'll see me doing yep, nope, yeah, sure, no, that's wrong, but we'll see. Hopefully he'll get them right. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Bulgaria. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, Victor Crumb from the Harry Potter book.
This is what you
yeah,
started
you're
with.
welcome. Yeah, now you want to watch this
He
episode,
is Bulgarian,
right?
by the way. He's a Bulgarian actor.
Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbie. I'd like to take this moment
Hi,
to
Barbie.
coin a term,
Oh.
tripster. A tripster is a travel hipster, someone who is so over the mainstream tourist destinations and they only prefer to go to the bleakest, most obscure regions of the planet. That being said, tripsters watching this video,
Thank
take
you.
notes. Also, let's dissect the flag.
Thank you.
The flag is a tricolor consisting of 3 equally sized horizontal bands, white, green, and red. When it comes to symbolism, even Bulgarians themselves aren't 100% sure exactly what each band means.
Yeah.
However, it's generally accepted that they are inspired by the Pan-Slav nationalist movement colors. However, it's also kind of accepted that these are the definitions. The white represents love and peace and
Yes.
freedom and spirituality. The green represents the youthfulness as a new
Yes.
liberated state, agriculture, character, and the beauty of nature. And the red represents the valor and, once again, the blood spilled of those who fought for the country and for
Yes.
the heroes of Bulgaria. Okay, that was
It's a
kind
lot
easy.
of
Moving
blood
on.
spilled. So yes, you're correct that
Very few
this
people
is.
actually know where Bulgaria is
So-
on a map, but when you look at it, you'll kind of realize that its position is kind of important to the entire continent of Europe.
Kind of
First
important.
Bulgaria is located on the eastern part of the
Okay.
Balkan Peninsula, bordered by 5 other countries, and the Black Sea to the east. Since Bulgaria is Europe's closest point to Turkey, it's kind of seen as like the crossroads between Europe and Asia. The capital is Sofia, located in the west, and the country is divided into 28 provinces, and the capital, Sofia, acts as its own province. as
Sofia,
well.
not
Sofia
Sofia.
has a wonderfully unique ambiance as a city that still retains its residue shavings from the former Soviet identity, but with a modern westernized democratic appeal that exudes through the billboards and media. About 80% of the border with Romania rests on the mighty Danube
Oi.
River, and the borders with Serbia,
Well, I have something
Macedonia, or the
to say
former
about
Yugoslav
that.
Republic of Macedonia, and Greece rest on the mountains and hills like the Balkan Range, the Pirin Range, and the Rhodope Range. Bulgaria
Okay.
is very lucky because in addition to having a nice geological mountainous shell to encapsulate the eastern side, they have a wonderful Black Sea to the east, which has played a heavily influential role in the development of the Bulgarian nation. The coast is classified as a humid subtropical climate zone with an abundance of pristine golden beaches, the most popular ones off the coast of Varna.
Oh my God,
and
there's
the
these-
Black Sea.
those
Bulgaria has
images,
5 small
dude.
islands and islets. Each
Old
named
as
after
fuck.
a saint and each with a unique charm and backstory. For example, St. Thomas Island is one of the only places in all of Bulgaria where cacti grow. St. Ivan Island, which supposedly has the remains of John the Baptist from the Bible, and St. Anastasia Island, which had a jail that prisoners escaped from long ago. Bulgaria's land comprises of a lot of history, to say the very least. In the south, by the Gorna Krepost, you have the Perperikon, the Thracian city ruins of the strange ancient culture.
Good use of the
Thracians.
R.
In Kazanluk, you have the Thracian
Kazanlak.
tomb of Kazanlak. Yeah, the ancient
Yes.
culture of Thrace had kind of a lot to do with this area. Nobody quite exactly knows what the downfall of the Thracians were, but reading into historical accounts on how they acted on a regular basis, it's not that hard to speculate on a few probable theories.
We're sociopaths.
Yes, you are, Thrace. Yes, you are. Now, of course, the monuments tell a funny story, but the natural land formations get even crazier.
Crazy? What's so crazy about it? Go to
The
Scotland.
Bulgarians have a saying. When God divided up the nations amongst the people, the Bulgarians were late, so instead God gave them a piece of heaven. Now, whether or not
Yes!
you agree or disagree
This
with that,
is
you
the
can't deny
most-
the fact that Bulgaria does have some...
This is the most common
First of all,
children's
the country
saying
is
to
divided into
every
two
young
general
one here.
topographical areas. The mountainous east with the Balkan, Rila, and Rhodope ranges, and the low-lying flatter Danube Valley and the Gorno-Trakiska lowlands, in which multiple rivers and lakes can be found, in addition to the majority of agricultural
Stara
plots
planina.
and raised land for livestock. Speaking of which, if there's one thing that Bulgarians are proud of, and I'm not even joking, every single Bulgarian I talked to has mentioned this, it would be their unique yogurt. Now, a lot of countries make great yogurt. and
You've
people
done
say
your
that
research,
Balkans is
dude.
actually the birthplace of yogurt. However, Bulgaria is the only place in the world where the yogurt is fermented with the Lactobacillus bulgaricus culture that is only found in the air of Bulgaria.
Yep.
This bacterium gives the yogurt a distinct twang and flavor unlike any other yogurt, and with the milk coming from cows or sheep that typically graze off of high herb-rich pastures, enriching the product with even more health benefits. You come to Bulgaria, we don't mess with our dairy products. You buy it, you buy it! Of course, you also have the Black Sea, which
Basically,
Bulgaria
that's
has
how
been
we
dependent
sell.
on for centuries for trade and business, but also has been capitalizing on for tourism. Many Europeans
course.
consider the Black Sea coast as kind of like their secret getaway spot that nobody really knows about because everybody's so concerned about thinking that Barcelona and Nice are the only places that you can go to. Ugh, Valencia, I've been so over that for years. I prefer Burgos. Of course, you've probably never heard of that. Now, here's the cool thing. Because of natural borders by mountains in conjunction with wind and weather patterns and water flow, Bulgaria is home to a wide variety of entertainingly strange natural landmarks, such as the Belogradchik eroded rock cliffs, the
Yes.
stone mushrooms of Beliplast, the
Yes.
Popti Kamani stones. Also, keep in mind the Popti Kamani area,
Kamani.
in addition to the Tabernas region of Spain, is one of the only two naturally occurring deserts in all of Europe. And then we get to something that Bulgaria is definitely not in short supply of: caves and waterfalls. You reach places like the Devil's Throat Cave with the world's highest underground waterfall, the Devatashka Cave with holes in its ceiling, the Eyes of God Cave in
Yes.
Pohodna. In fact, Bulgaria has over 4,500 charted caves in its entire country. Also, keep in mind, 32 of the 37 species of bats in Europe call Bulgaria
Their
home.
home.
So if there's one
Yeah.
thing you can take away from this,
We
it's
have
that
a lot of
Bulgaria
bats.
is a very cavey place. Waterfalls also speckle the landscape, mostly in the eastern mountainous regions. The tallest one in the Balkans being the Resko Praskalo, the picturesque Krushuna Falls, and the town with the most fortunate
I love
fairy tale,
hearing
Krasna, which
foreigners
has the
speak
Skaklia, a
Bulgarian
waterfall looming
because
above their
it's
skyline
hilarious
on the
every
mountain
time.
ever flowing from the cliffs adjacent to the direct vicinity of their town.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I just can't even.
Now, if you
This
ask
is an
Bulgarians,
actual
one more thing
reaction
that they'll tell you
from
that they're proud
tourists.
of is their roses. Roses are cultivated all across the entire country, but most
Yeah.
heavily in the Rose Valley, just below the Balkan mountain range. Bulgaria produces over 70% of the world's rose oil, a substance used
Kinda,
for pressing
yeah.
on the petals and also most commonly used in perfumery. They have so many roses that typically the abundance allows them to have rose festivals in which they parade around with roses, have a rose queen beauty contest, and they kind of just end up dancing around and throw roses all over the place. Kind of like the La Tomatina festival in Spain, except it's a lot cleaner and more better smelling. Wow, that's the second time we've contrasted Bulgaria with Spain. Let's see if there's any more parallels in.
Wait.
Now, Bulgarians may be Slavic, well, kind of, we'll explain more about that in a bit, but they definitely have their own Bulgarian way of doing things. Bulgaria has a population of about 7.5 million people, most of whom identify as ethnically Bulgarian, at about 85%, 9% of the population being Turks, about 5% are Roma, commonly referred to as Gypsies, making Bulgaria the country with the third highest Gypsy population,
Nuts.
the remainder of the country coming
No.
from other nationalities. Now, here's the sad thing. Since the fall of the Soviet Union, Bulgaria has one of the highest population declines in the world. They used to have around 9 million people back in 1990, but since then the emigration and death rate has surged
Yep.
past the population growth rate, and since then Bulgaria has seen a rather alarming population decline in the past few decades. This all had to do
Sorry.
partially with company privatization and the
We
social
don't
structure
fuck it up.
investments going completely out of whack after independence from the former Soviet Union. Statistics project that about 60,000 people leave Bulgaria every year, and in 2012, 24 towns were completely wiped off the map as they were completely abandoned, and about 170 towns are on the verge of extinction. The good news, though, is that this makes Bulgaria one of the perfect places for cheap shopping, real estate, business, and cheap vacation getaways. In fact,
Yeah.
since recently joining the EU and NATO, which has, by the way, caused a lot of controversy, Bulgaria has seen a completely
Yeah, think?
unprecedented level of tourism and business booming. Yeah, economic nerds, Bulgaria is the kind of place where you might want to consider pulling a Warren Buffett. I'm just saying. Ethnic
It's already
Bulgarian people
happening.
will tell you that they have roots from the Bulgar tribes, which nomadically came from the eastern regions of Eurasia, as far speculated as the Central Asian regions, until they eventually settled down into what is now known as modern Ukraine. Eventually, they came down and mixed in with the Slavs and formed Bulgaria. So, technically, a lot of people in Bulgaria could have Central Asian roots, and considering how far the Huns extended their reaches, that's not completely out of the question. Culture-wise, Bulgaria is proud to proclaim itself as the birthplace of the Cyrillic alphabet, used by over 250 million people in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, extending as far as Mongolia.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing, just like we talked about in an earlier video, like some regions in Albania, Bulgaria is one of the only few places in the world where people shake their head to say yes and nod their
Finally,
heads to say
they're
no.
gonna say
Now,
this
let's
is the
talk
most
about
common
the
thing
people
you see
Bulgaria
here.
interacts with. Now, Bulgaria has one of the most anomalous
Oh my God,
core
this guy's
companions that
sick.
you would never really expect them to engage with comfortably. First off, the strange thing is, in 2004, in addition to other former Soviet states, Bulgaria took a bold step and joined NATO, and 3 years later joined the EU. This was kind of a big deal considering the Soviet-linked past and the ties that Bulgaria was rooted in. This move also opened up.
You should
Bulgaria
research what kind of ties we had. So yeah.
All this kind of puts Bulgaria in a very unique intercessory class status when it comes to East versus West. Typically, Bulgaria will kind of act
Simply
as
said,
like
we're getting
mediator
fucked
for
from
the
all
EU
sides.
and NATO when it comes to cross-operational engagements. When it comes to the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia,
They're Bulgarians!
That's just Macedonia. Bulgaria has a strange relationship. By all means, these two countries speak the same language and have pretty similar backgrounds as Slavic nations. The problem is where things went down about 80 years ago. Basically, this is what Bulgaria says. Look, Macedonia, we want to love you guys. You're basically just Bulgarians, but you've been brainwashed by Georgy Pilevsky into thinking you have some kind of indigenous Hellenistic roots. You don't. You're Bulgarians. Just accept it. To which
Yes.
the Macedonians say, shut up, Bulgaria. You don't know us. Okay, we are descended from Alexander the Great. You belong to Macedonia. I don't want to say it's kind of like the North-South Korea thing because it's nowhere near that level of animosity, but in a fundamental sense,
That's a good way to put it.
ideologically, it is kind
Yeah,
of like the North
it
South
is.
Korea. They generally do not favor Turkey that much because for 500 years they were under the Ottoman Empire and they pretty much hated every second of it. It wasn't until the 19th century when they finally gained their independence with the Russians fighting alongside with them. This means that Russia is kind of seen as like the brother friend of Bulgaria. Even though in every aligned organizational sense they kind of took every step away from Russia, and
Yeah.
even though they were kind of taken over by the Soviets for a long time, tensions are low and they still get along great. However, Romania is kind of seen as like the new boyfriend that Bulgaria just started dating. Especially
Boyfriend?
after joining the EU, relations
Hey.
move fast. The presidents regularly visit each other and hang out. Business is great. Ferries and bridges connect the two countries across the Danube, where people love to visit each other, and Romanian-Bulgarian marriages are not uncommon. In conclusion, wax your mustaches and put on your skinny jeans, because if you are so over the mainstream, you might want to just stop by and smell the roses. Stay tuned, Burkina Faso is coming up next.
Okay. I'm gonna subscribe to that guy and yeah, it's good. Oh, he had help from Bulgarians. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a good way to do it. I like the song. Well, he's right, you know. He's right. He nailed it. Except for the statistics in ethnicity, like officially maybe 1% are gypsies. Unofficially, no. Unofficially, they're like a lot, much more than 1%. Like more like. Am I doing it right now? Yeah, 10, 15, 20%. Yeah, they're overrunning us. And according to Macedonia, yeah, you just hit your nail on the head. Although the reference with North and South Korea, they're both Korea, you know. So kind of yes and no, but I'm nitpicking. Okay, this was the Geography in Bulgaria video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned a little more about my country, and soon you'll be able to hear my language as well, because I'm starting the Bulgarian channel type thingy on my channel thingy, and you'll be hearing me only to go to Bulgaria to speak Bulgarian. Fuck. Okay. Thank you for watching, have a nice evening, and please like, subscribe, comment, and follow me for more videos. Can I like put a sign next time, because it's really hard to remember sometimes. Sorry.